Hindi, si Ian ka. Ay, wala pa si Ian.
Break ka naman dun.
Opening prayer. Opening prayer. Wala. Mauta ako sa'yo. Ako pala ako.
Yes.
Sa'yo. Ah.
Routine yata gumawa nun.
Di ba pa yung MS Teams kanina?
Ben, sa'yo ko yan ah. Iba-ibang project kasi yun eh.
Yes, ang bilang sa'yo. Sir, dito.
Hindi ko naka-open yung Gusto ko ba ito? Gusto ko. Kulit. Ano rin yung sinagot ko naman. Ano ko kasi dito eh. Siya bagay kasi. Bagay lang ako. Bagay.
Naalay tayo.
Kahit hindi ko naman pinapay ito. Sure. Tapos dun sa MS Tips, ilan siya.
T-shirt.
Ano yung sir?
Nasa control yun. Tama si Chef. May online yata.
Matawag ulit ako sa ay, ito, si Ma'am Years. Kuya po yan sir. So, may dito sir. Tawag po. Tawag na lang.
Hi, sir.
Correct mo na yung ending kayo mo na yung
Wala po siya. Si Director Pitala. Si Director Pitala.
Ay,
may kid ba siya?
Regular mo.
Kasama ko siya sa meeting. News kabila.
Sabi.
Director Pitala.
balik niyo ba, sir?
Sa sir.
Oo. Sir, sa change of thing, sir. Saka sa yung tama, sir.
Basically,
Yun ang ano dito. Wala ng BO. Iyan. BO. Pag natuloy. Siyempre.
Yes, sir.
BO.
Dito, December 12, sir.
Well,
Yes, sir.
ayaw mo kami pag-Christmas yun.
Yes, sir. Pumatak pa na kasi. Hinagod pa pang hepe.
Anong security agency kayo, sir?
BNP, sir.
Something went wrong. Please try.
Kayo yung sa nasuli. Again, si Ma'am ay
Lucky Global, sir.
alaki. Ito yung kasama niya.
Kami po dalawang kasama, sir. Yes, sir. Wala naman, sir. Wala. Karami tayo. Ayan po. Ano na?
Sir, nakita mo na yung vote ko sa'yo sa EPA. Comment mo. Election to...
Okay na. Pero bakit naman?
Election. Okay na?
Okay ba? Oo, sa ano? Tapos na.
Thank you. Ha? Okay mo na.
Okay. Asa na sila? Yes, sir. Papunta na po.
Meron kang isang art. Di ba trophy ka?
Yes. Alternate na po, sir. Alternate.
Ha?
Pag-send ko.
Ay. Okay. Pero wala na yung activity. Wala na. Oh, next year.
Hindi ko kasi. Ay. Sige, mag-bless. Let's go.
Mag-online sila o pupunta na. Sige na, sabihan lang sila. Yung members natin para
Nandito pa ako.
Backsec. Backsec. Kayong dalawa pa rin. Sino pang pupunta? Iba yung backsec, di ba? Sino ang kulang sa inyo? Si James ko, pupunta rin.
Habol pa si sir.
Okay siya. Sige. Hindi, ano ba yung iba? Wala bang mag-online?
Currently po wala pong researcher.
May binigay kayo na
Alam po.
link?
Yes po.
Kung may mag-online, wala naman gusto mag-avail ng online natin sa mga back members.
Sa ngayon po wala pa po researcher.
Tawagin na sila para makapagsimula tayo.
Alternate. Alternate po yung sila. Alternate po yung sila po.
Sino ka?
Ma'am,
Mama.
bakit mapapalala sa
Sa preview sir. Yes sir. Tingnan mo yung mga ano. Yung ay, yes sir. Isa na lang. Sir, isa na lang. Oo, sabihin ako. Para sa business sir. Yes sir. Ay, dito na naman. Sorry. Hindi, pagkakas ako. Kasi darating si
Kakanta din kasi sila. Kakaya. Mag-like set.
Basis.
Alright. Sana. Wala ba? Kanta ka na muna. Pero mo.
Kaya-kaya. Contest daw.
For the leaders, no, let's just wait for 2 more members of the back. The Undersecretary is coming together with Undersecretary Chan and the Director for Director Lama is also coming. They're just wrapping up their respective meetings. Let's just wait for that so we can have the forum and then we can start. Yes, because there are 5 of us, right? Excluding Paulina.
May isang alternative.
May isang alternating. As you are alternating for
Yung isang ano lang po, isang member, si Ma'am.
Divine.
si Mama Marie. Okay. And then, okay, siya na.
Yes, sir.
Sabi si James.
Mr. Chair, Director Nanette will join online na lang daw po.
Online.
Apo.
Okay, so, sige, first, isa. Ginawa ba, we have a quality ever? Days? Meron na ba? Ilan na yung attendance? Okay, sige. So, sige, back let's start. If we have already do business.
Good afternoon.
Chair, we will start the conference with a short prayer.
Yes.
Let's start with our opening prayer. Loving Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour asking for your blessing and help us as we are gathered together. We pray for guidance in the matters at hand and ask that you would clearly show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Help us to work together and encourage each other to excellence. We ask that we would challenge each other to reach higher and farther to be the best that we can be. We ask this in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the private conference of the Business Awards Committee 6 for the Procurement of Security Services for DepEd Central Office, DepEd Baguio Teachers Camp, DepEd Pagapag Nueva Vizcaya, DepEd Taguig, and DepEd Nasudi, Manay-Balay, Bukidnon. Our presiding officer is Director S.K.C. Osillas. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. We are also joined by Ms. Marie Tolitol. Good afternoon, ma'am. Architect Jet Raymond Alabaso. Good afternoon, sir. And we will also be joined later online by Yusef Gerard Chan and Director Ninette Alama to form a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Do we have a forum right now?
Right now, Mr. Chair, we're still waiting for Director Ninette to join online.
So as it is now, we don't have a forum yet.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Alright, so we wait for one more, direct at least one more member of the PAC. So we can continue or can start and proceed with this.
Mr. Chair, Director Ninette Alama is already online.
Okay, with that, do we have a forum now?
Yes, Mr. Chair, and the back secretary is now ready to transact business.
Alright, so let's proceed. Back.
We also would like to acknowledge, Mr. Chair, the presence of our end user representatives headed by Director Robert Agustin, our representative from the Commission on Audit, Ms. Sheena Lumanok, and members from our prospective bidders from Lockheed Global Security and Investigation Services, Maricar Pasio, from Big Security, Merl Flor Lentija and Derek Romeo. And then from Dasha, Arlenio Dimaano and Joven Diaz. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Alright.
You may now present the details of the project.
Before that, I think we have to, just like this morning, we have to talk about this particular activity that we're doing, no? I don't know, I think you're all aware that this is an early procurement activity, right? And do you know what an early procurement activity is? Do you know the difference between an early procurement activity and an ordinary or regular procurement activity? What is the difference? Sige nga, because basically, let me just tell you, no, because you might be confused. I am not sure when the last time was when this department had this early procurement activity. This is actually a requirement for our EBD. And we need to do this to also help the department hasten all our procurement activities. It's very difficult to procure on the year itself that the budget is released because procurement actually takes time. It takes a little time. And sometimes when there are problems with, not really problems, when there are issues, like for example, a particular bidder contests the result or the results of the bidding, then they can go and raise issues like they can do considerations like that, or then protest eventually. So it adds to the period within which we could possibly finish the procurement processes. And so the government has envisioned the so-called EPA, early procurement activity. Why EPA? Why early procurement? Because these types of activities, in these types of back activities, no, there is as yet no approved budget for the contract. What we have is an indicative budget as shown in the National Expenditure Plan. Meaning, we submitted something, we submitted a plan to the DBM as to the projects that we want to procure for the year. And this plan, these budgets are to be deliberated upon still by Congress, even if DBM has already approved them. But so when DBM approves this budget or these amounts that we have budgeted for the things that we're doing today, for example, we are not sure yet if the amount we have allocated there will be the same amount that our Congress and eventually the President will have to approve. Why? Because the power of the purse or the amount or the budget is lodged in Congress. So hindi ho natin alam kung etong, for example, yung ating indicative ABC dito na amount, yun talaga ang ibibigay ng Kongreso sa atin. But we are doing the EPA so that, again, as I said, there will be no lag in the procurement processes of the department. However, again, just because of, for reasons that I told you earlier about the budget, it can possibly happen that one, the program or the project will not continue. Why? Because if we budgeted, for example, 100 million for this activity, for this program, and then all your bids, while below 100 million, are above, for example, the 50 million that eventually was the one approved by Congress and found in the GAA, then we will have to scrap the project altogether because just like in any ordinary budgeting process, no, in regular budgeting natin, lumagpas kayo lahat sa EPC. Okay? So, that is one aspect, no, of an early procurement activity, which is different from the regular activity. And then, the early procurement activity also, while it follows the processes under the ordinary activity of procurement, we only stop the back will only run up to the resolution to award. Okay, so for example, we have already determined who has the lowest calculated responsive bid. We will now submit to the HOPE the resolution to award. But the HOPE cannot give immediately the notice of award or cannot issue the award, no? Cannot award the project immediately because there is as yet, assuming there is as yet no budget, meaning the President has not yet signed our GAA. So, ibig sabihin, no, titigil lo tayo, masususpend ang period ng pagtakbo ng ating procurement processes dahil hindi ho inaalaw ng batas na mag-award na wala pang budget talaga na pinipirmahan ng ating Presidente. So it will have to wait. Dahil dyan, we might ask, for example, if tayo ang nanalo, we might ask that you extend the validity of your bid security documents, no? Among others. So, that is generally the concept of EPA. No? It's like early procurement activity, but procurement siya but short of award. Okay? But all the processes are the same. So kung sino ang madidetermine natin na LCD, papasok siya sa sa detailed evaluation at pag ikaw ay nakapasa sa bid documents, no, papasok ka sa detailed evaluation, financial, and then after that, papasok ngayon yung ating post-qualification processes, no? Nakapasa na kayo sa post-qualification processes. Supposedly, ang sunod dyan, kami ay mag-award na. Kami ay magagawa ng resolution to award. Ibibigay na namin yan sa HOPE. But the HOPE cannot act or will not act on it yet until and after the GAA is already signed. Kuha niyo ho? So, and then, pwede rin pag sinainan yung GAA, biglang na-cancel pala yung budget pa dyan sa contract. So, hindi itutuloy yung kontrata na yan. Hindi itutuloy yung activity na yan. Yung project na yan. No? Ganun yun. Or, ulitin ko, kung meron mang binigay na pera ang Congress, mas mababa di hamak doon sa ating ceiling na binigay. And then, lumalabas ngayon lahat ng bids nyo lampas doon sa binigay ng Kongreso na pera, we will scrap the project. Okay? Kasi hindi naman kayang bayaran ng gobyerno at lumagpas kayo lahat doon sa ceiling na binigay ng gobyerno doon sa pera. Okay? So, any questions on this matter muna sa EPA? I want this clear to everybody kasi baka medyo magkagulo kayo. Like, magtatanong kayo, kailan ba talaga matatapos to? Yung mga periods na yan, di ba? So, I want to make it known to everybody na ito yung sitwasyon, ito yung itsura ng EPA. So, for you, now, if you have any questions on the proceedings that we're going to do, please ask so that we can clarify before we go to the bid documents. Any questions? Okay. What about the rest? All right. So I hope it is clear sa inyo, no? I'm assuming na clear sa inyo. Hindi ho paglabas niyo mamaya, kayo ang magtatanungan. At hindi rin naman masagot ng kausap niyo kung ano yung sagot sa tanong niyo. Okay? So at least I have done my part here, explaining to you what the EPA means. No? So let's proceed. What's next?
Mr. Chair, we also like to acknowledge the presence of USEC Gerard Chan.
All right. Good afternoon, USEC, and good afternoon, Director Nanette. Can you hear me?
Yes po, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Director Resty.
USEC, good afternoon.
Good afternoon po. Yes sir, dinig po kayo dito. Thank you
Alright.
po.
Sige, so let's continue. Back.
Let's continue po. So the end user or PMO for this project is administrative service. So for the end user or PMO for this activity is administrative service or security services unit or ASSU, and the source of fund will be 2024 gas fund under National Expenditure Program or NEP. So the BAC through its secretariat posted its invitation to bid on November 22, 2023 at PhilJeps and November 23, 2023 at DepEd website, DepEd Facebook, and DepEd Bulletin Board. So the pre-bid conference is the initial forum where the procuring entities, representatives, and the prospective bidders discuss the different aspects of the procurement at hand. Its main purpose is to clarify and address every prospective bidder's questions on the different aspects of procurement as contained in the bidding documents. This way, bidders will fully understand the requirements, hence, they will be adequately aided in coming up with a responsive bid. Note that any statement issued during the conference shall not be binding or shall not modify the terms in the bidding documents unless the same is specifically identified in writing as an amendment and is issued through supplemental bid or bulletin. So the approved budget for the contract is 69,544,232 and 20 cents, which is broken into two lots. So for lot 1, procurement of security services for DepEd Central Office, DepEd Baguio Teachers Camp, DepEd Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya, and DepEd Taguig. And for lot 2, for DepEd Nayap and DepEd Nasuli, Malay-Balay, Bukidnon. So for the um, uh, budget for lot 1 is 62,249,112 and 22 cents, while for lot 2, 7,295,119 and 98 cents. So for correction on lot number 2, NIAP shall be transferred to lot number 1. This will not affect the ABC and this will be corrected through a supplemental bid bulletin. So the back-through secretariat started the issuance of bidding documents dated November 23, 2023. So the cost of bidding documents for lot 1 is 44,700 pesos and for lot 2, 5,300 pesos po. So bidding documents may be downloaded at the following websites, which is shown po sa ating screen. Okay. So number of prospective bidders that purchased the bidding documents as of November 30, 2023, 12 noon is none po. So the pre-bid conference is open to all interested parties who have or have not bought the bidding documents. So the salient points of the bidding documents will be presented by me po. Ano po? So under invitation to bid and instruction to bidders. So prospective bidder should have completed within a period of 2 years immediately preceding the deadline for submission of bids. Single largest completed contract or SLCC similar to the contract to be bid and the value of which adjusted if necessary by the bidder to current prices.
Yusek Chan.
Good afternoon po, Yusuf. Okay, continue na po. By the bidder to current prices using the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA, consumer price index must be at least 50% of the ABC of the lots bid for. So still under instruction to bidders, clause 5.3 page 18. So for the purpose of the track record requirement, contracts similar to the project shall refer to procurement of security services. For this purpose, the similar contract should have been completed within a period of 2 years immediately preceding the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Under ITB Clause 7, subcontracting is not allowed. Under ITB Clause 9, requests for clarifications for an interpretation must be in writing and submitted at least 10 calendar days before the deadline set for the submission and receipt of bids. So the procuring entities address is shown on our screen po. Then consistent with the section 22.5.3 of the revised IRR of RA 9184, posting on the BILJEPS and the procuring entity's website of any supplemental or bid bulletin shall be considered a sufficient notice to all bidders or parties concerned. Under ITB Clause 12, the price of the goods shall be quoted DDP or DepEd Central Office or the applicable international commercial terms, Incoterms for this project. So bid prices should be written in 2 decimal places only. Bid prices that are written in more than 2 decimal places shall be rounded off. Results of bid evaluation that will exceed the ABC shall be a ground for rejection of the bids. Under ITB Clause 14.1, so the bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following forms. If the bidder opts to use a bid security in the form of cash, cashier's or manager's check, bank, draft or guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit, the amount shall be 2% of the ABC for lot 1, which is 1,244,982 and 24 cents. And if the bidder opt to use bid security and security bond, the amount shall be 5% of the ABC for lot 1, which is 3,112,455 and 61 cents. And for lot 2, 364,755 and 99 cents. By the way, for lot 1, lot 2, for the ABC for 2% of the ABC will be 145,902 and 39 cents. So under ITB clause 14.2, bid securities other than a bid securing declaration shall be turned over to the DepEd cash division or custody. The bid securing declaration shall be for the custody of the Back Secretariat. The bid security shall not contain any deletion, crossing out, expansion, or any form of correction. Otherwise, DepEd may reject such security if any such intercalation or alteration affects any material, information, or feature of the documents. Under ITB Clause 15, prospective bidders shall enclose their original eligibility and technical documents in a sealed envelope marked as original technical proposal. Copies thereof shall be similarly sealed in envelopes marked as copy number 1, technical proposal, and copy number 2, technical proposal. In addition, the USB flash drive containing the soft copy of the original eligibility and technical documents shall be marked as USB flash drive. The said envelopes containing the original and the copies and the flash drive shall then be enclosed in one single envelope marked as technical proposal. On the other hand, the original of their financial document shall be enclosed in another sealed envelope marked as original financial proposal. Copies thereof shall be similarly sealed in envelopes marked as copy number 1, financial proposal, and copy number 2, financial proposal. The USB flash drive containing the soft copy of the original financial documents shall be marked as USB flash drive. The said envelopes containing the original and the copies and the flash drive shall then be enclosed in one single envelope marked as financial proposal. So for continuation, further, the envelopes marked as technical proposal and financial proposal shall be enclosed and or sealed in an outer envelope marked as mother envelope. So illustration po next slide po. Any discrepancy between the hard or paper copies and then the copies contained and as presented in the USB flash drive, the hard or paper copies will prevail. Original copies of the Class A eligibility legal documents such as the SEC, DTI, or the CDA registration certificate and the mayor's permit may not be submitted on the date and the time of the bid submission. However, the bidder must be able to present such original copies during post-qualification on demand by the BAC or its authorized representative for validation. So continuation pa rin po, to facilitate the receipt and classification of bid envelopes, outer envelope shall be color red, inner envelope containing technical proposal shall be color blue, inner envelope containing financial proposal shall be color green, and the post-qualification document shall be color brown. So for post-qualification documents may be submitted during the bidding, but this does not disqualify bidders who will not submit post-qualification documents during bid submission. So note, each bidder shall submit 3 paper copies, 1 original and 2 copies of each bid, and 2 USB flash drive electronics copies, 1 technical component and 1 financial component. The e-copy of the price schedule must be in the form of Excel and PDF. Unsealed or unmarked bid envelopes shall be rejected. However, bid envelopes that are not properly sealed and marked as required in the bidding documents shall be accepted. provided that the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The bank shall not assume no responsibility for the misplacement of the contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid or for its premature opening. Online submission of bids is not allowed. Under ITB Clause 19.5, the computation of prospective bidders NFCC must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid, calculated as follows. So for NFCC, current assets minus current liabilities multiplied by 15 minus the value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects under ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts yet to be started, coinciding with the lot or aggregate of lots bid for, the values of the domestic bidder's current assets and current liabilities shall be based on the latest audited financial statements submitted to the BIR. For purposes of computing the foreign bidder's NFCC, the value of the current assets and current liabilities shall be based on their audited financial statements prepared in accordance with international financial reporting standards. If the prospective bidder submits a committed line of credit, it must be at least equal to 10% of the ABC of the lot or lots bid for, provided if the same is issued by a foreign universal or commercial bank, it shall be confirmed or authenticated by a local universal or commercial bank. In any case, the NFCC computation or committed line of credit must be sufficient for all the items or contracts bid. The NFCC computation shall be in accordance with the prescribed form. In case of a joint venture, the NFCC shall be computed based on the audited financial statement of the local lead partner, unless it is shown by clear proof that the other partners to the joint venture have infused capital investment to support the operation of the local lead partner to ensure compliance with the obligations under the contracts in this project, in which case the NFCC of the foreign joint venture or the minority partner of the joint venture shall be computed. So for this purpose, the local lead partner shall be that person, organization, company identified in the joint venture agreement or in the letters of intents for potential JV partners shown to have the controlling states in the JV. For easier reference, participating JVs or prospective JV partners must indicate in their JVAs or letters of intent the local lead partner appointed by them. The NFCC must be supported by the following documents: certified true copies of the income tax return for the preceding year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from date of bid submission, and audited financial statement stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited or authorized institution for the preceding year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from date of bid submission. Under ITB Clause 20.1, within a non-extendable period of 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the bank that it submitted the LCB, the bidder shall submit the following requirements. First, latest income and business tax returns, printed copies of the electronically filed income tax and business tax returns with copies of their respective payment confirmation forms for the immediately preceding calendar or tax year from the authorized agent bank. Only tax returns filed and taxes paid through the BIR electronic filing and payment system shall be accepted. Note: the latest income and business tax returns are those within the last 6 months preceding the date of bid submission. And the other one is other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the BDS. During post-qualification, upon demand by the bank or its representative, a bidder with the lowest calculated bid shall be able to present documents to verify or support its statement of ongoing and or statement identifying its single largest completed contract, which may consist of the following: appropriate and clear duty signed contracts, purchase orders, agreements, notices of award, job orders, or notices to proceed, with the corresponding duly signed certificate of completion, delivery receipt, inspection and acceptance reports, certificate of final acceptance or official receipts. For validation purposes, original copy of Class A eligibility documents must be submitted, and certified true copy documents as issued by the certifying or authorized agencies. As per Section 34.3 B2 Item A of the IRR of RA 9184, verification of availability and commitment and/or inspection and testing for the required capacities and operating conditions of equipment units to be owned, leased, under purchase by the bidder for use in the contract under bidding, as well as checking the performance of the bidder in its ongoing government and private contracts if any of these ongoing contracts shows negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project or negative slippage of at least 10% in each of two or more contracts. As per Section 34.3B3, Item A to C of the IRR of RA 9184, verification and/or inspection and testing of the goods or products, after sales and/or maintenance capabilities in applicable cases, as well as checking the following: delay in the partial delivery of goods amounting to 10% of the contract price in its ongoing government and private contracts. If any of these contracts shows the bidder's failure to deliver or perform any or all of the goods or services within the periods specified in the contract or within any extension thereof granted by the procuring entity pursuant to a request made the supplier prior to the delay, and such failure amounts to at least 10% of the contract price. Unsatisfactory performance of the supplier's obligation as per contract terms and condition at the time of inspection. If the BAC verifies any of these deficiencies to be due to the bidder's fault or negligence, the BAC shall disqualify the bidder from the award for the procurement of goods. In case of foreign bidders, a certificate of authentication from the Department of Foreign Affairs shall be required for each document submitted. An example, Class A documents or its equivalent that are written in foreign language, translated to English, and duly authenticated by the appropriate Philippine Foreign Service establishment or post or the equivalent office having jurisdiction over the foreign bidders' affairs in the Philippines. To facilitate post-qualification, the bidder at its option may submit in advance, an example, on the deadline for submission and receipt of bids, above requirements and other documents required in Section 2, ITB 20.2. The envelope shall be placed in a brown envelope and marked ITB 20.1 documents, name of project, bid opening date, and name of bidder. So failure to submit the above requirements within the required time frame or a finding against the veracity of any such documents or other documents submitted for the project shall be a ground for disqualification of the bidder for the award and the enforcement of the bid securing declaration. So under special conditions of contract, GCC Clause 2.2, billing and payment, the security agency may bill DepEd on a monthly basis. Billings or requests for payment shall be supported by the following documents: monthly billing for security services rendered, collectible monthly basis, every first week of the month direct payment to client bank account number through LDAP or Land Bank of the Philippines. Monthly service invoice in triplicate copies, indicating the breakdown and the total among being collected. Daily time records of security services and security guards for the billing period. Monthly summary accomplishment report. Monthly summary payroll of number of security posted and number of duty hours rendered. Table of manning of security officers or guards daily and per shift. Photocopy of security service contract with certified true copy, and monthly daily time record or biometrics finger scan. Note: the supplier must furnish copy of the above-mentioned documents to DepEd Accounting and the End-User Administrative Service, Security Services Unit, and the Contract Management Division of the Procurement Service Central Office. Under GCC SCC Clause 3, the performance security shall be posted in favor of DepEd and shall be forfeited in the event it is established that the supplier is in default of any of its obligation under the contract. The supplier shall be responsible for the extension of its performance security and or renewal of its performance security whenever necessary and without need of prior notice or instruction from DepEd. To ensure that it is in force and effect for the whole duration of the contract delivery period and until a certificate of final acceptance is duly issued. The performance security shall not contain any deletion, crossing out, expansion, or any form of correction. Otherwise, DepEd may reject such security if any such intercalation or alteration affects any material information or feature of the documents. So under Schedule of Requirements, we have here the list or description of goods or services. The project sites are DepEd Central Office, DepEd Taguig, City, Baguio Teachers Camp and NEAP, DepEd Bagabag and Nueva Vizcaya. The project duration is 9 months and 9 days for Lot 1 and 11 months for Lot 2. Delivery of service period, a day after the receipt of notice to proceed by the winning service provider or January 1, 2024, whichever comes earlier, provided the GA is passed into law before January 1, 2024. So we have here the deployment of security guards for DepEd Central Office. The posting area, day shift, night shift, and the total can be found in the bidding documents. This part is for the DepEd Taguig City po. This part is for DepEd Baguio Teachers Camp and National NEAP po. So for DepEd Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya facility. And DepEd Nasuli, Malay-Balay, Bukidnon po. So under technical specifications, bidders must state here either comply or not comply against each of the individual parameters of each specification, stating the corresponding performance parameter of the equipment offered. Statements of comply or not comply must be supported by evidence in a bidder's bid and cross-reference to that evidence. Evidence shall be in the form of manufacturer's unamended sales literature, unconditional statements of specification and compliance issued by the manufacturer, samples, independent test data, etc. as appropriate. A statement that is not supported by evidence or is subsequently found to be contradicted by the evidence presented will render the bid under evaluation liable for rejection. A statement either in the bidder's statement of compliance or the supporting evidence that is found to be false either during bid evaluation, post-qualification, or the execution of the contract may be regarded as fraudulent and render the bidder or supplier liable for prosecution subject to the applicable laws and issuances. So for terms of reference or technical specifications, you may see attached Annex Schedule of Requirements, Annex A for the terms of reference, Annex C for the qualification standards, Annex D for the equipment requirements, Annexes E to E5 for the list of technical specifications of equipment requirements, and Annex G for the list of technical specifications of signages requirements. So under Section 32.1 of the IRR of RA 9184, members of the BAC, including its staff and personnel, as well as its secretariat and TWG, are prohibited from making or accepting any communication with any bidder regarding the evaluation of their bids until the issuance of the notice of award. However, the BAC, through its secretariat, may ask in writing the bidder for a clarification of its bid. All responses to requests for clarification shall be in writing. So for deadline of submission and opening of bids, it will be on December 12, 2023, 1 p.m. So the venue will be at the Education Facilities Division Conference Room, 5th floor, Mabini Building. Late bids shall not be accepted. So for deadline for letter of clarifications, it will be on December 1, 2023, 5 p.m. And you may email your concern to depetsecretariat@deped.gov.ph. Note, please use your official business email in sending your queries and or clarification. So now the floor is now open for queries po, Mr. Chair.
All right. So questions are now to be entertained on EBS. Yes. As for purposes of ensuring that we capture each and every question, can you please identify your name first and then what company you're representing? Ask the question.
Mr. Chair, I'm Maribel Pacho, representing Lucky Global Security Investigation Services Incorporated. I have some few clarifications and questions lang po. Page 8 po of the bidding documents. The bidders
Page
are
8.
page 8. Yes po.
Check.
Page 8, number 5, letter B.
Number 5.
Number 5, letter B. Therefore, the other bidders are directed to email the DepEd an intent to purchase the bidding documents. And it says there that there is a bidder's information sheet attached to the bidding documents as Annex A. Unfortunately po, yung Annex A ng bidding documents, terms of reference po. So the bidder's information sheet hindi po naka-attach. If we could,
Secretariat. Check na rin niya. Is there a question or is this an observation?
That's an observation for clarification because we need the bidder's information sheet so we could email and then the secretariat would email us back the payment details.
So
for
your
the
question
bidding
is
documents.
Annex A intended to be a bidder's information
information
sheet or
Is it
something else? Because
Yeah.
what the leader is saying, prospective leader is saying is that in our presentation, Annex A is different. Ano ba yung Annex A dun sa presentation niya?
terms of
Dito.
reference po.
Ano?
Terms of reference.
Terms of reference daw yung nakalagay doon sa Annex A. So, Baksec, please check this one, ha? And adjust accordingly. Thank you for calling us out on this. Any other question?
Another question, Mr. Chair, a clarification as well. Because the rate for field health contributions are still suspended for 4.5. We are going to use 4% for our financial aid, 4% for the field health premiums.
Opinion. That's with respect to your,
Financial aid.
you mean, payment that you will be presenting to PhilHealth for the cards that you have.
No, sir. The field health premium that we are going to use for our financial aid is submitted to the debt.
So you're telling us that in your financial documents, you have only 4%.
4%.
4%.
That's
Kasi sinasabi mo na suspended naman
4.5.
ang 4.5 na nire-require ng PhilHealth. Can you verify if it is really suspended? Tayo ba, Director Bob, ano ba tayo? 4% ba ang ating PhilHealth? Sino ba may hawak?
Actually, Mr. Chair, if you look at the or refer to the wage order that is issued by the donor and which is adopted by PAGPAW, indicated po yung amount po. It is not percentage of something. For example, PhilHealth contribution, January 2022, ito yung nakalagay doon sa wage order for NCR effective July 16, 2023. It's an absolute amount. Nakalagay po dito 400.97 for 7 days. Yan yung pang umaga. At 400, same amount for 12 hours night shift.
So, Mr. Chair, are we just going to follow the cost distribution as issued by the PATPAW?
I think it makes sense naman, Mr. Chair, that there really is a PhilHealth issuance suspending the implementation. I think we will just have to.
We will include it in the PD.
Yes, yes.
However,
I think you security agency should call the attention of PAGPAW, including DOE, to make the necessary adjustment.
it's all right. We will possibly include it in our just issued bid bulletin along that line. We will clarify, BACSEC, you please also check with PhilHealth on this. No?
Another question po.
Yes.
For the wage orders for all areas po, are we going to use the latest wage rates?
Yes, because this security service contract, subject of this the discussion, this will be for next year. So, yung dapat po ninyong gamitin na wage order should be the applicable one. In this case, July 16, 2023, because that is the latest. That is the latest.
Unless something happens between now and then.
Yes.
Okay.
And for lot, if the bidder will submit their bid for lot 1 and lot 2, are we going to submit one set lang for the technical documents and the financial documents? So do we have to submit 2 sets for lot 1 and another set for lot 2?
You may submit only one set for the technical documents, except for the Class B documents, which will require to be submitted separately for each lot.
But it will be on the same envelope for financial documents. Lastly po, there are other documentary required for the bidders to submit SSS PhilHealth and Pag-ibig clearances. May we just make a request po if the PAC will allow us to submit alternate documents for this, because the time for securing some of these clearances are really difficult during these times. If we may submit proofs of payment within the last 6 months for SSS PhilHealth and Pag-ibig, in lieu of the SSS PhilHealth and Pag-ibig clearance.
I'm just curious why.
The process po kasi,
Is it really the process?
yes.
Or is there something wrong with the way you pay?
Actually, no po. For our part po, honestly, we have a hard time reconciling the security guards loans, which are not in our employ anymore, na nag-reflect pa din sa SSS. So, hinihimay-himay po ng SSS tsaka ng company namin na itong mga empleyado po wala na, bakit sa amin pa po yung loans. So, sa after loans department po, ibigay po nila sa legal department.
So it's more of the processes of your office.
Yes po.
We will just take it up we will just take note of that and let's see what happens in the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
That's all for Lucky Blue.
Alright, thanks. Yes.
Sa BP Security Agency. Pinapatanong na po ang deployment of guard po sa NIAP guard, included na deployment of NASUPI guards for a total of 20 guards.
Pardon. Total.
Deployment of guard at NIAP and then guard included in deployment of NASUPI guard for a total of 20 guards.
That is correct. For our site in Nasuli, we require 20 strength. That's the strength, total strength. Balay-balay.
Another question po, sir. Bank guarantee form for advance payment, do we need to include it in the bidding doc? The bank guarantee form of advance payment, do we need to include it in the bidding document?
What do you mean bank guarantee form of advance payment? Why?
Dun po sa financial po.
Pero kung
Bank guarantee.
meron kami nito.
Paki-check na sa ano yan? Insecurity ba yan na hinahanap? Na sinabi
Kailangan po ba ng pang-sir ko sa...
Dalawa kasi yan eh. Pag ikaw ay mag-bid, as an eligibility requirement, you need to have a bid security declaration, which can be in the form of a bank bid security, like, manager's checks or ano, or, yung, yan ba? Bank guarantee form? Bid security ang tinatanong ko. That's it. Yan ba yan?
Yes po.
So, kasama siya.
Kasama siya.
Thank you po.
And clarification, Mr. Chair, it's not an advance payment.
Yeah, hindi siya. Oo.
Yan ang po, sir.
Oo. Sige. So, okay na. Sagot na yan.
Apo, sir.
Alright, any other questions from anyone? Yes. Wala. Wala na?
Just to further clarify the concerning amount, the bank guarantee is required if you choose to submit a bank guarantee in the form of a bid security.
Ano lang natin sa
Kasi dalawa yan, di ba? Yung ano kasi, yung bid security, correct me if I'm wrong, Ma'am Seka, yung bid security kasi, dalawa yan siya. Magkaiba yan sa bid security declaration in general. No? Ang bid security declaration for purposes of eligibility, submit ka ng bid security declaration. Na pag ikaw ay na-awardan at hindi mo na kompleto o hindi mo ma-proceed yung kontrata, talagang masususpend ka o mapa-blacklist ka for a period of 2 years or nagbuta mo na ilan po yun. But ang bid security naman refers to the manager's check. Manager's check ba or cash? Cash or managed? Yes. Or eto, diba? So, ano pa ang pinatatanong sa'yo? Pag nanalo na kayo. Kasi pag nanalo kayo, that is already on post 1. Hanapin yan. Iklaro lang natin ha. But any rate, andyan yung ating clause on bid security. Yan no? Bid securing declaration or any of the following forms. Hindi ko gaano mabasa, but 2%, cashiers or managers check, bank draft, guarantee or irrevocable letter of credit. Are you saying ang isasubmit ninyo ay bank guarantee?
Yes po, sir. Kung yung bank guarantee form is at the advance payment po.
Hindi siya advance payment.
Hindi siya.
Bank guarantee.
Guarantee mo.
Thank you po, sir.
Okay? Any other questions? Mababait itong mga bidders natin. Parang kanina pang umaga mababait ang mga bidders. Pero wala pang bumili ng bid docs. So hindi rin sila mababait. Nagtatanong lang sila. Hindi natin alam kung magbibid sila.
Wala silang bidders information sheet.
Kaya pala. Kayo pala may kasalanan. Hindi kayo nakapaglagay. Then sige. So, wala na kayong tanong. Kayo lang ang tahimik. Alright, so Do I hear any motion? No. Are you sure no more questions from the group? You say no more questions? So, there being no more questions, do I hear anything, any motion from the members of the BAC? There is a motion to adjourn. Anybody, members of the BAC, who seconds the motion? It has been moved and seconded that we adjourn our activity this afternoon. Any objection? There being none, the activity is adjourned. Thank you for coming, leaders, and all of you who came this afternoon. I hope to see you in the next activity. Okay? Thank you.